Greetings, all. Today, I want to talk about, well, many subjects, but it all coalesces around one particular. It's one particular part of this issue that we are facing. Many of you forgot early in the year about an organization that was called USAID. USAID, people were told, spent billions of dollars providing medicines and food and so forth around the planet. But it wasn't billions of dollars, it was trillions of dollars. And most of that money went to keep a network of faithful followers of Israel across the world. When I first moved into this neighborhood, there was a trash heap around this house. And then when the neighborhood they started rebuilding it. They made these guys clean it up. Now it's going right back to it. Now this is not black people, but if you hear it spoken of, that's what black people do. They tear down the neighborhood, bring down property values. But anyway, that's not our subject. It just caught my mind. I said, man, look at that. Anyway, but USAID wasn't even the organization that did most of the work. That work fell upon the biggest corporation in the world. And if I asked any of you to name that corporation, you couldn't. Me, I'm not gonna name it because nobody else in the world does it. Nevertheless, say you lived in, well, you're living in Gambia, you're living in Zambia, you're living in Rwanda, South Africa, and you seeing all the turmoil going on around you and cannot determine why it's starting up or who is doing it. Now, I showed you in some of my videos events going on in Kenya, Sudan, Cameroon, even small Gambia. And I said, look, the young people are beginning to stand up and demand things. But even though those young people are standing up now and demanding things, there still has to be somebody behind them, you know. Otherwise, what you see in Kenya, where the government pulled out the guns, you would have seen in Gambia. So why is there protests in Gambia and the young men not getting murdered? Young women too. You see, a long time ago in America, under Obama, the young people in America began to stand up and say, hey, you got to send these Wall Street people to jail. They're wrecking the country. They started building around Wall Street, not building, but camping along Wall Street to make sure the government know they were there. And the government had to pay attention because Wall Street was what? The financial capital of America. I told you that around the world, around the planet, there's a piece of real estate that doesn't belong to the government. It's a complete and separate entity. And I named the quarter mile, the quarter mile in London. They call it the London Financial District. The Washington, D.C. area where the United States Capitol is located. In Paris, there's one. Vienna is one. You know, they're all over the planet. Even the city of Rome, not city of Rome, the Catholic, the city in Italy. It's not owned by Italy. There are some states that just have their own entity, and this went on. This began way back, thousands of years ago. You hear about Jerusalem. All of you heard of Jerusalem. Jerusalem, as was called in the past. Jerusalem, Laim, many names similar to what I just pronounced. That is separate entity, a separate entity, just like the papal palace in Rome, Vatican, separate entities. And people look at them as being just religious, but it's not. These were established. The one in Jerusalem was established thousands of years. And it was it's a replica of what was built in Egypt. Replica of what was built in Babylon. You see how this thing goes? It moves, it moves, it moves. But the same people behind it, every time it moves. At one point it was in Persia. And if any one of you know the name of the religion at the time in Persia, comment. But here we are in another day. When the same changes that were brought about when the chief city, I let the cat out the bag, chief city they call it, was moved from Babylon. And then there was, well, before Babylon there was Arcadia. It goes all the way back to what we call Eden, or the Eden. The first city. And then there was one called Babel. I bet you a lot of people remember that one. And the claim is made that that's where all the people gathered. And they built everything, and then it had to be destroyed because the great entity, the one they call God, said, nope, you can't let that happen because man will begin to challenge us. Because they have the knowledge to do it. But which man was that wanted to challenge that God? So from that time, men were divided into languages and cultures. But today, if you look at the world, you wouldn't think about that part of the timeline. You will see that they're trying to, under the framework that is called trade, the whole world was beginning to fall in a place with this network built by one entity. One entity now. All the trade around the world was moving smoothly. You want to build something, it's coming from China. China had its sources for all the raw materials. And they had this international network of trade set up with ships. You can track your ship everywhere it goes around the world. Know when your product's gonna arrive. And everyone that I know, well, not everyone that I know, I can't say that, because someone taught me. This knowledge didn't just come from me. And as I said before, this knowledge was taught to me and a few other people. Not just a few. When I say a few, I don't mean 3 or 4 or 5. There are hundreds. And at the appropriate time, as I always say, the knowledge comes out. But this, the average person, the people now that are going to listen to my video, never tied what they're seeing now to the city of Babel. To them, it was just one building. To you, I shouldn't say them, to you, it's just one building. This one huge building where everybody on the earth lived. No, it wasn't. It was this. That was the way, that's what was the location from which the commerce was run. That was the international capital, like I was saying, like London and the Vatican and Jerusalem, as you call it. Babylon. Throughout time, this is what was happening. But also throughout time, they were never able to recreate what Babel was. It's every time they try to recreate it, it failed. Today, again, it is failing. That network around the world that they try to build to control the whole planet is failing. You see how I tie it into USAID? USAID was a worldwide organization. Its funding didn't just come from America. There are several people around America who funded USAID. And they weren't just Americans, Europeans. I mean, everybody was demanded, they demanded that everybody commit to this organization. It's like the UN. And each time it's a failure, it fails for the same reason. Who wants the power? Ultimate power. All the wars ever fought was because of that. Power. The earth will reclaim what is its own, what belongs to it. The universe never gives up its ultimate power. The Creator never gives up his ultimate power. The challenger will always be there. The one you call Lucifer, the adversary, as he is known, truly known. Whatever language adversary is in your, wherever you live, that's his name. He has many names, but the real name is adversary. He never gives up the challenge. And in a way, we were built like that. Man is in his environment always changes it or attempts to change it. And I show you just the other day in Barbados how the earth, the houses, if somebody is not living in them, just like this one built brand new, nobody began to live in this house, the earth would take it back. Man stands up, tries to change the environment, but if he's not there working hard to change it, all keep it changes, it fails. And we are seeing one of those catastrophic failures today all around us. The largest corporation on the planet cannot keep this from happening. The richest corporation on the planet cannot keep it from happening. And you can see they're fighting desperately. You got Israel war, you got the war with Russia, you got the war with China, everywhere wars. Desperation setting in. Now, many things depend on what the last straw, as we call it, is. It only takes one person to start that war. And it has happened before. It's been done before. Nothing new under the sun. Those of you who believe in the Bible and the other religious books, they all tell you the same thing. It's nothing new. It's a repeat of history, repeat of the story. You haven't lived long enough to see the story from the beginning, so you won't know. But the books are there for you to read, and you read them, but don't comprehend. Listen to this video over and over, and it tells you the story. This is just the latest rendition of Babel. Story of Nimrod, the great hunter, the challenger. Have a great day wherever you are. Peace.